apparel. So we will, before we know it, Super Bowl this weekend, and then everybody's focus turns to the NFL Combine. And it'll be here before we know it. And a pretty good group of Mississippi guys that are going to be there. These are the ones that have been announced so far. And I guess there could be additions, but this is probably the group that you're going to finish with. Emmanuel Forbes, Tyrus Wheat, Cameron Young, Nick Broker, Zach Evans, Malik Heath, Jonathan Mingo, Tavius Robinson. So when you think about those names, there are a lot of people that think Emmanuel Forbes is going to be a first-round pick.
Yeah, it gets – I mean, the worst position I've seen him in a mock so far was 43. So early second round is the worst I've seen him.
April's going to be a good month for Emmanuel Forbes. What does he need to do at the Combine, hey, Dad? Because, you have some guys that say, okay, I'll run at Pro Day, I'm not going to run at Combine, or I won't do this drill, or I won't do that drill, or I'm not going to do the bench press. I'm just going to do team interviews. Can Emmanuel Forbes help himself at the Combine?
He needs to either have some bulk, because I know his size has been a concern, or he needs to be able to go in there and when he bench presses, show that he's got strength, one or the other. I don't expect him to bulk up to like 190 pounds or anything, but he's skinny dude, so he's got to find a way to to bulk up a little bit. And then as far as the film speaks for itself, but when you're talking about a cornerback, they want to see you run, a relatively fast 40. So whether he runs at the Combine or runs at his pro day, I would imagine they want him between 4.4 and 4.5 somewhere. So he needs to be able to do that.
You think that's a number he can hit?
I think so. I mean, he's shown in man coverage for the past 3 years that he's certainly capable of it. So
I lost track of the number of times that I said during football season, I feel like every time I turn a Mississippi State game on, Tyrus Wheat's making a play.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like when you look at mock drafts, Tyrus Wheat is a linebacker that is like just popping off the page. He strikes me as a guy that might be able to really help himself at the Combine.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's got athleticism. He's got some freak qualities for his size to be able to run the way that he does. If he goes up there, I'm not saying he's going to be like a Montez Sweat and be a top first-round pick or anything like that, but at his size, if he goes up there and runs 4.6 or something like that, 4.7, then the people are going to that's going to get people's radar up, I think.
He hits 30 or 35 on the bench press.
Yeah, the vertical leap, things like that, yeah.
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 3-cone drill, shuttle drills, and, of course, the interviews.
They'll make or break you, man, those 3-cone drills.
What about Cameron Young? What do you think about him on the defensive line and what he can do for himself?
I like him a lot, and he's a guy that's his film's going to speak more for him because I think physically, he's good. He's a good athlete, but he's not. There's nothing that stands out about him in terms of superior athleticism. I'm sure he'll do well on the bench press, and he'll show good enough speed. I would hope, but that's a guy that I think will do well in interviews as well. And Mississippi State's, I think, track record for putting defensive linemen in the league is certainly going to help him, I would think.
Yeah.